never meant to hurt you. I didn't really mean the words I said. If I could take it all back, I swear I'd never do it all again. 'Cause I need you by my side and I need you in my life. And if you hear this song, just know that I'll never find a better one. And everything was done out of love. So even when I'm gone, you're always in my heart. A shine down California sun, 'cause everything was done out of love. So even when I'm gone, you're always in my heart. Serenity.
Good morning. Or whatever it is, wherever you are. So I realized that, well, and this is centered, but the actual descriptions of a name here, and a name actually wouldn't be a bad thing to have. There might be some bigger ones. I can make that a little crowded. I guess these parts of the descriptions are actually pretty relatively small. It doesn't mean changing our justification. So right now this thing is here. Okay, so I have disabled my Is that still on? No, that's maybe it was OBS that I changed the hotkey on. Well, okay, that's not changing my an unlock light either, so I'd have to do that in multiple places. That's show hide. Alarm, desktop audio. I guess the keyboard's still on. So that one's still there. I guess I just had to load the driver. Okay. Okay, so this is paragraph desk right now. Row L. So you become a column, essentially. Okay, so backing. Now see, this is almost the same, but not quite. Almost, but not quite. Do I have these colors defined as part of the text thing? I don't have white. Huh. Where's keyword color? Oh, keywords are... Yeah, I just did white there. It can probably just be text. You can be kind of a heading, I guess. No, the headings don't exist. Oh, text doesn't have properties though. And so desk was something we pulled out and processed. Oh. Oh, super text of this boon. Okay, why aren't you happy? We copied this oh. Because we copied this line, that's why. I thought it just doesn't... Ew? This is setting the width for the entire thing. Well, basically we added an L here. Or a column. So first of all, we need that. And then we want to do a little bit of font work on you. Is a line here? Well, this isn't the main topic. And is it you or the parent? Okay. We could do outright spacing here. There's only 2 elements. That'd be the easiest way to do it. I don't know what units you're in. Because that already helps. Do I have some sizes defined already? Description size. Okay, so there's description size. Which you probably set on the parent of the entire thing. Yeah, so you kind of want... Right, description color. Oh, that's probably saying the default color. But really, this would be the paragraph now, wouldn't it? Because you can be 2 different things. Okay, that kind of worked out as a visual hierarchy. I don't know if it quite maps to what the game does, but... Oh, these are actually feeling kind of pale now for some reason. Boon titles. I don't think we had that in our notes even. All right. So we would like... Okay, well that does that. That doesn't reset it. That does that. I wouldn't mind having that on hover here. So there, well, there's hover here, and there is hover here. This would probably be the easier one to do. Although I have to do enter and leave, and it's not just focus. These get passed down to canvas, don't they? Yeah, so those are actually kind of different things. Although really the chart is going to be mouse move, we're just going to be getting it all the time. Neo. Oh, I'm going to have to set up individual... So this will be able to... Ooh. Hopefully we get the leaf before the enter. So this would be where we do... Like select primary, select keepsake, select weapon. Is this Boon icon that's doing this? Or trait select button. Probably not require me to set this up for all of these, though. So this is select and... Oh, geez. Right now this is gonna be... You don't have the trait ID right now, though. Which means you have to pass all three. keepsake, weapon, Boon select button. Okay, so we did primary. Boon dot trait. Man, I almost want to like make like a triple I can construct from one set of things here. Now I could just do some of these would take slot, some of them don't. On this one is the tricky part. Wait, you only have slot. No, I can't do command. My command none is done. Because it's an actual value that we're going to have to handle. Oh, you're doing slot again. And you're doing slot. That we use the same button for all of them. Didn't used to matter as much. This is feeling awfully the same, though. All right, select, select, select. Also, we added view.none. Entree, enter, ID. Okay, so we're stuck on something else. Oh, do we still have message in here? Yes. Evnets. All right. So description Boon is a maybe. Right, because these are circles, so we actually should have. I wonder. I mean, I think to do a CSS animation, I'd have to. I have to do that with CSS. I don't think you do that specifically. I mean, I might be able to hand animate something. We're not really anything identifiable right now. What's your outer element? L. I mean, really, we just want something like this. We don't want a delay appear. This gives us all the keyframe syntax. Gee, is this not what we want? It's like, I want to do all changes. Or is this a thing like we add or remove a class or something? There's a thing called animation delay. Animation name. Oh, from to. Making it repeat. Move back and forth. Same duration animation count. So this would be you define the keyframes for this thing, I guess. Oh, I might have to be applying. Yeah. To do CSS for this, I'd have to be applying and removing I guess we're applying and removing a class or something. Or essentially changing the opacity property, and then this would cause it to animate. I mean, I guess we keep track of the last thing. And you see there's a pulse in and out. Transition. Now let's transition all. And then active active 0. So seems like a weird way to do it. So we would do, and then we have to figure out, we have to change how it's handled, but I suspect all is more than we need. And this is where we could look up CSS Transition. But we'd have to do something different with this. So first of all, now Hades, no. Hades boons.elm. We have to have a field in here to remember the last description. So I guess it still has to be nothing at the beginning. And let's leave it as is. So this is select slots. This is the so we need special handling for the sole case. So this will never set it to 0. Oh. Well, no, if it's fading in, I don't think it's an issue at all. Or does this mean we always have the one we're displaying? And actually it's a separate flag as to whether we're visible. So if it's one of these, if then we've set it to something. else I guess we've unset it. No, technically we left it alone. So now we're setting two properties here. Actually, I got, be careful with this nothing now. Really just want to say it's description showing to nothing. So we never actually set to nothing. So you would be modeled description boon, description showing. Did you really get confused by indentation? Right, because we never unset it. But that means we never unset it. Okay, so this is this entire thing. Oh, right, because you have a nothing case, right? Well, I guess there's still a nothing case. I guess the only problem we have here is I don't think our initial appear will fade in. Uh, Maybe it's only properties applied by CSS that get transitioned. I don't. No, you know what? I changed it to fading. So that wasn't applied at all. Well, keep you around in case we have to switch this back. Okay, that is kind of working. We can make it slower, but I don't know if we want to. That actually does end up looking nicer. Oh, I wonder if I can do... I mean, probably, right? Do asymmetric. Let's see. CSS transition symmetric. Okay, so the base thing is a duration, and then the hover property, which we basically this now we have to do it with a CSS classes. Well, this is showing or hidden. Actually, that's the class property. And we can basically do that there. So we have div fading. See, that's the active form. I guess we just try this out both ways and see what happens. Here's something else. Oh, and we actually have to do the alpha here. That disappears very quick. Oh, actually, we ended up applying this to both of them. So I guess I could just do the transition duration on those, huh? Well, now we're not getting it at all. Huh. Is that the correct names? Yes, I left it off. Right. Not showing and hiding. Hidden. You know what? Moving air sometimes helps. Hopefully it's not too noisy itself. Just it. Another. Might need a longer alarm time. Can I type, please? That feels like it's doing nothing. Right. Let's make this very visible. Okay. Is opacity the wrong term? Oh, I actually have to get this element, but we're hiding it on hover now. Well. Okay, so you're not it. Showing. The opacity is on. We're not actually saying it's anything different. What do we activate here? That doesn't reset those. Okay. Hidden. So that worked when we directly applied the alpha property to it. Maybe I could use those for just the transition times? No, now it doesn't work at all. Maybe the space-separated ones don't work. Okay, so putting spaces in here. What the heck are you writing out then? Oh, it explicitly does only one. So what does this do? Does that override it? You're explicitly breaking on spaces or something. Wait. Now I've got two words. What's up with that? Oh. Haven't recompiled yet. No, we've got both of them. So we should have transition 1 second. But we have none. So forget how to jump back to a character. Right, because you were applying opacity. You're directly applying opacity. Oh, maybe because it's on the element. It's transparent opacity 1. Oh, I wonder. Maybe there's something more specific that's always applying opacity. Of course, they were actually hiding, though. Oh. Yeah, now we have no fade. Okay, you should be showing right now, so we should at least... no, we're not... We're doing that. Did I misspell you too? Excuse me, sir. I guess... Oh, no, I'm on the wrong element. Give showing opacity 1. Well, that wasn't helpful. It's the only thing that's setting it. Does changing classes make the DOM editor not reuse the nodes, maybe? I guess because the menu's open. Oh, that's right. I have to deal with outside this box. What if we did this? Nope, no transition at all. Is this the classes? Or is it the fact that we're changing classes at all? Okay, so something about changing the class attribute is either messing up the application of animations or it's messing up the DOM updater. Can we have multiple class statements? I don't know if that would make a difference. Okay, so yeah, adding and removing classes seems to be a no-go, which means we cannot do asymmetric. Because it's messing with something here. Wait. Now why are you messed up? Oh, come on, it was working. Oh, maybe I didn't save this. So another problem is that we'd really want to have separate times for show and hide. So we have to find some mushy middle. It's a very small transition. Also, are you... Yeah, you know what? Your opacity is 0. So you're still able to block things. Admittedly, it would pop up and block things. Could I do it with direct style tags? You probably don't even have that as an option. We have to go to the HTML one. Okay, supposed to be 2 strings. Oh no, this is incorrect. Transition value Yep, nope, don't reload you. Common parallel developer sites. Okay, that can't apply it. Which means maybe this is in the wrong place, because it's all going to be transition. And I guess technically we only need to change the time parameter. Which is duration. That's animation. Too soon. Okay, so if it's showing, that means we're fading in. We want that one to be very quick. Leave it a little bit longer for now so we can see the difference. It's a very slow in. I feel like this is not applying the way how we want it to. Can we only have one? Maybe I reloaded too soon? Yeah, there should be a transition duration on here. Oh. What's the 0 second? Oh, that's the delay. So that's actually a recomputed thing. So is attributes.style saying transition duration is not a valid property? And not putting it in there? That would appear to be the case. It says background color. Okay, well that just means that we have to type out the entire thing. Time, all, ease in, out. Oh, it doesn't even need to be all. Ease in, out. And maybe a different easing function kind of cover it too. Okay, we're getting nothing now. Is there something messed up with this statement? Okay, that was in fact hidden. Why is there something messed up with this statement? Okay. Do you not do conditional code? Or does that somehow break the DOM update engine? Okay, and we wanted to say if showing. And we could probably, oh, yeah, so we just had a typo somewhere we couldn't see, I guess. All right, there is a pointing hand. No, actually I had to do that in CSS stuff. Pointer events. Shoot. When we were doing controlled classes, we were messing this up, weren't we? I guess what we really want is, like, hidden. Yeah. Now, so it must be virtual DOM then. That's messing this up somehow. Well, I guess I never want pointer events on this thing, right? Okay, we read out. There's Boon description. So we had to do a special thing here. And probably we want to do something like this. Except you were FR. So at least that. Alright, where are you getting your pointer events from? Probably a star again. NBFR star. How about you? Wait, inline? No, this is an entire style sheet. Um... Oh, and there's an NBBH. Well, so it might just be a whole slew of different things that we have to override here. This is just NBFR. We should have this scoped. This doesn't seem matching either. Where the heck is that anyway? Well, there's NB. Isn't the entire DOM path here somewhere? Or maybe that's Chrome. Well, this is kind of the same stuff. Why don't we override you? Are you... Well, we have the plain style. So you'd be more inside. Maybe it's not inside of Boon description. All right, so it's the star that's messing us up. I don't know if it's further inside or if it's exactly this element. Where the heck are you coming from? Maybe it's exactly this element. But oh, okay. So there's that little problem. You can just click through it then, but it should hopefully solve this. And all right, we can't change classes depending on its current status. I could switch to procedural code animation. Which is a wee bit of a pain, but basically, the reason we can't use a class to fix this, well, and the fact that we could then actually remove the element when it's not there, which would fix all the pointer problems. Well, it would fix all the pointer problems. Even outside of this, or blocking when it's not here, we have the problem of stuff that's outside of it. Oh, I can't even select you now. That's interesting. So you are Boon description. So technically this would be not pointer events, this would be pointer events. You're an HC. Oh, this is the FR. FR star. This is probably like a row or something. And I don't... Huh. Maybe that... Let's see, is that the thing that is like a... Oh, front? Is that what that is? The thing that puts it in front? Well, I don't know if I have access to that element. Because this is the top of what we return to it. So I have no way to identify that element in particular. Although fixing this did end up fixing hits out here. And then we would turn it back on for the description itself. And then we would have to manage fades manually. So the weird thing is we're turning it off for the Boon description, which is the box, right? I mean, this is always the thing we select, which means you are the row in here that is actually the visible part of this. So maybe we have to do something like Boon description frame. And I guess we could then say contents of that. Okay, and we were not seeing BH was actually an issue for you. So I need a more specific version of Boon description, which actually these are not really relevant now, I guess, because it's this thing that was causing it. And then we need to say, well, it has to be more specific, right? So I guess we do want more than this. And then everything in here is back on. Oh, and it's Boon description. Oh, one of the things we were saying was, well, it doesn't matter if we don't need two of them. Okay, that works. We could still. This sort of has expected behavior of being in your face. We can do stuff outside of it. And then we just have to deal with the fade. Oh, does it mean I don't have to toggle classes? Oh, the problem is that this is still blocking us in here. So this doesn't really help us. Because we can't apply a class to change. Well, pointer events is a style, right? Now we applied something to the child based on this though. And actually I want pointer events for this to always be off. So I guess would we manually control this then? So we would actually. So this would always be off, and then this thing might take care of itself. Okay. We can definitely do that. We can interact with this. We turn it off. We cannot interact with anything. Oh, I did auto. What the heck? If showing. Okay, we have over here. We have over here. And we can do that, and then you get blocked out for taking it back off. But this shouldn't be surprising, I don't think. Clicking behind it would be a little bit surprising. This was like faded or something. And I wonder if I can apply any of that to the invisible parts of this thing. I thought I did some Boon Tray stuff already, but... and I guess the other way to do this would be to do the pointer events directly on this thing where we were doing Boon column before. And then that's an inline style, which naturally overrides. And I could even maybe bundle that up if need be as a little helper method. So that in theory takes out this line. We've got this Boon Tray effect getting in our way here. So why were you blocked off? Is there something else here? Okay, no, because I'm not over this now. Yeah, so this one's something else. Because that was the last one we did. And we were able to do it down here? Yeah, that's something else. Huh. Is that this thing? Pointer events on this might be a problem because I might need that to stay up. I guess as long as this is up, yeah. So that just puts it over here, and since it no longer stays up here, you do in here, it appears. Going down here, well, should not block you out from that. Ooh. There's still something going on here. Although we'll be able to actually remove that thing if we start managing this ourselves. Okay, well, we hit something there. Yeah, it's not like the main thing. Oh, we've already lost it at this point. Doesn't seem like it's the title. I wonder if it's the backing box. Why would you get a... Oh, you do override an inline. Or are you outside of this? Ah, this is a conditional one too. Well, this is really a case where we just don't want this thing to be here at all. And if we start managing the animation, then we can just fix it. Yeah, div 0 style. So classes, inner classes can override it. And I guess it ends up being more specific. Which is maybe part of the reason that having a more specific rule than this worked. Well, or maybe it didn't. But I'd have to figure out what this inner NBBH is. Oh, is that behind? For the backing. Well, if we added a class for you, we could fix that, I guess, but... So right now we've got fading working. But this just seems like a rat hole. Of course, animation is its own rat hole. So we have to know what state you're in. We have to know what your target state is. Let's see. So you're going to have a current state and a target state. We need to show you when you're something. We need to be able to start up animation when you're something. Well, or maybe we just kind of drop this transition stuff for now. I think there's some other things that might be more important. So we've got the showing flag, which actually tracking that is sort of useful. In as much as it sets us up for doing animation stuff later. Or I guess we need to be tracking that stuff. The showing flag specifically, though. So we were actually just not drawing this. Which we have to actually do. To have it not be a obstacle right now. So there's some stuff we need. I think description showing has to go away for now, and maybe eventually come up with some other animation information. So entree leave has to become nothing. Select Boon. You just disappear. I think you become nothing now. This doesn't matter here. Wait. Oh, you know what? I was overwriting you. So you are going to be back to just straight up auto for now. Nope, hadn't compiled yet. This will have hover. It's just really blinky. And all right, that was enough of a trial. Also, what do we have here? Okay, we have you. We have you. We have you. We have you. Those are a little bit in the way. We don't have anything for you, which, I mean, that kind of works. Yeah, that kind of works. Now, speaking of really expensive things, I guess I'd have to define something to put in somewhere for the god names. We have to turn on mouse movements at all times. And we have to do a lot more hit boon checks. And we have to be tracking our drag status. Oh, no, actually it is it Boon chart? No, it must be view. No. Oh, it's Boon chart canvas. Let's see, so you don't need mouse up. You don't really need mouse leave. So the mouse move is actually going to be always on, sadly. And then you're going to have to basically do completely different things for dragging. Unfortunately, we can't do nothing here. We can do this just to kind of test that logic. And you see there's already problems. It's model offset. Okay, it's not dying yet. Drag still works. Hit Boon. This was something we only had to do on mouse down before. Let's not select Boon. We're not changing dragging state. Select Boon has the little bit of code we need, though. I think that's all you do. And you're really just description Boon equals nothing. Oh, this is not an active trace. This is just... Right, description Boon equals if member. If this ID... Oh, because this is the on-off logic, but this is our off logic. So here, just ID. Which actually is just hit Boon. Yeah, and this is where the faded come in real handy. Potentially I could use a larger radius on this, although right now I'm using only this radius. I still have to have some... I guess I go for nearest. Am I already doing nearest? Boon chart, hit Boon. No, that's a filter. That's not any kind of sorting. Now I could potentially apply an effect, which I guess would just be an ID. We'd have to get it all the way down to the chart. Actually, if I like... Well, I'd have to track when I left. But if I like told the chart that was active... Well, I guess I'd have to deal with all the consequences of updating that in terms of lines and things, but that might also need a different format for that. So this is something. Also, I keep removing bits and pieces of this. Chart description hover. That basically covers this stuff. And we would like it to fade, which is going to be the hard part. So maybe we do this first one kind of brute force. And then see if we can make it nicer. So I guess, so the essential state here is what is visible. And at some point that essential state, or that target state changes. So that, well, this is going to be the target state. What we're showing I guess we've got description visibility, and then we would say if it's at all positive, we can show it. And then there's some state logic in here that maybe we can reduce down later. Oh, for animation, I need to know. Well, I can. Time is a factor. I can sort of build the animation rate into the processing and just. So every time we get a time tick, we're going to do something divisibility based on that. Which is very, very specific. But that's compilable. Oh, of course it's going to be 0 right now. We need. Well, really, I guess when in our time update logic, we would set it to nothing when it fades completely out. So this would still be whether it draws. And that should be our target state, which means we have to have what we're drawing as we fade out. In order for this kind of logic to just kind of work. In our initial state, you can still be nothing. So it's not like we can guarantee there's always a last. So this would be controlling our animation. This would be actually what we'd show. Well, just to see that we have this much working. Oh. Well, now we're back to mean intermediate value again. Although I guess we could handle this in a kind of... We could kind of let the animation just pick it up eventually. But for now, I have to have something there to... I mean, I guess I could just pick one. And for quick testing purposes, I guess I don't need to get all of these. Although I guess this does make it a bit harder to get something to stick, doesn't it? That might actually be a little bit of a problem for us. Maybe we can get... No. Because as soon as we move over here... Maybe we do have to fake it. I guess if we could move around, we can still see it's faded. But that would actually be what we're drawing. Okay, only mention of that. And we had alpha down here earlier. So the complications all come in updating it. Okay, so it's faded. These things actually probably won't, yeah, these things won't set it. All right, so then there's the hard part. I need a little break, though. Be back in a minute. Going up. You beautiful people. So, I guess that one's got to stay a ladder. Man, if they're on exosuit duty, it just takes so long to get back. And the problem is you don't...
Piles and piles.
Alright. Science time.
Or science.
Aww. The platform is, however, facing up. And trying to balance itself to the floor.
Yeah.
Well, not all experiments are successful. There, and help it cycle. So that eventually this can get up to boiling temperature and get us more water. We've already got it pretty well degermified. Alright, so you are... I never did put one more temp shift here. Hydrogen is up to 200 degrees. Ah. Yeah, the F was for fashion, Mom. Log out here yet. There was something else playing last time I was close to it. Welcome back. Alright, so a first pass at this would look like what? In our subscriptions... Oh, hey, look, our little test thing. Is this still here? Yeah, it's still here. If model... What is our... Well, it's if model dot... This is like a case. Well, it's just a equal and equal to nothing. Or is this like a whole series of case statements? They're floating points, so we seem to be careful with that. Description boon is not equal to nothing. It's kind of a series of case statements. The floating points get a little weird, maybe? So, if description boon is nothing, and visibility is 0, then nothing. If it's nothing and visibility is anything else, then we have to animate it out. And I guess I could even have like fade up and fade down since I'm doing this here anyway. If it's anything else, I mean, like, I guess we could say just we don't care. Or actually, I guess at this level, we could say, well, no, because we have to say non-zero, so we have to do the zeros first. Actually, is it, if it's either set to something, which means we need to fade up, or it's non-zero, then we do that. So this really does kind of turn into an if. You almost kind of want to do it the other way. That would be if not equal to nothing or greater than 0. Else sub dot none. I guess we could use rotate as a fudge. It's a kind of a temporary thing. Just because that'll do something. So it'll probably just be, yeah, it's just going to be rotating because as we put the 0.5 in there. Okay, and then we set it to something. Which we haven't unset it. Oh, no, I guess we're just always over something. So that's a little bit weird. I don't know why this is so hitchy. I remember it being so hitchy before. Oh, this must be the Elm UI style sheet. Interesting. Okay, so now we want a new message. First, I have to define it. We could do that just to get the message there. So this is where we do logic. Uh, it's not going to be rotation. We're either going to be fading in or fading out, and they're going to have to do bound checks. Definitely going to send any messages. So this might, it's a case of ranges. I guess there's like all our stopping points. Okay, so model.description boon, model.description boon visibility. If it is, now you see, I can't easily say not nothing here. No, I can say just we don't care. And because we're bumping things, we should be able to say greater than 1, shouldn't we? This is just a chain of ifs. I guess we'd start off with, that's a 3-part case for what our current visibility is at. Though I guess the description boon is going to tell us which direction we should be going. It's just showing else hiding. And then you are if model.description visibility. We shouldn't get this message if we're greater than or equal to 1. So really, or is that so? We didn't do any 1 checks down here. Yeah. So not equal to nothing. That would be less than 1. So this might have with multiple cases anyway. Oh, this is an or greater than 0. Okay, so this would be its on. Nah, you need to be. And this sort of by default. No, we have both cases again. Okay, assuming those checks have passed. Then fade needs to be increasing. We didn't do at most. There's still a clamp though. But we need to know if it capped out. Let's see, so this is delta time. If I do 1,000, it'd be a 1 second fade in. Clamp, is it value min max? Or is it like min value max? No, it's range number. And I guess I could have done the greater than 1 here, since... And actually just set it to 1. Model or description. Boon, we're not going to change. Well, anytime we're drawing this, we're gonna set you to model dot description Boon. Boon visibility is going to equal viz. I don't know if it's greater than or equal to 1. The else case is that we're simply going up. And this is why I don't want to write all this code. There's probably a better way to do it, but that comes from the experience of doing it. We don't technically need to have you now. And we wouldn't really want to change that. Oh, actually, I do want to be updating you in the long run. Because it might be a moment till our animation frame fires off. I removed, yep. It's a different character in this case. Mode dot description. No, mode dot description. To be a bool value? What? Oh, model description Boon. So this is not equal to nothing. Okay, it disappears a little too quick, but the fade in works. Why do you disappear so fast? Oh, because I'm setting this Have we changed this to draw last? Yes. So that means we're on... I think this means we're unsetting this immediately. Except if we unset, we never draw it. Okay, so we're going to hold a bunch of those we fade in. We actually did overshoot, despite specifically setting it to 1.0. And there were no further updates, which means we did just kind of unset it somewhere. Maybe that was part of my like initial test update stuff. So we never should have gotten there, because I should have done the updated value. Which could have been part of it. Last. Yeah, that's based on hit. So I guess I should let the animation system take care of it. Why was that so shaky? It might have to do with the updates we're receiving. They don't have a good way to see right now. Oh yeah, there's some large asymmetries in there. It wasn't as big as it looked. Still, we definitely have some serious hitching here. This was delta time. If I went with absolute time, I would have to... I mean, I don't know if that would really end up looking better if there's still a frame hitch. Man, the CS animations were better. Well, of course, I wasn't, but yeah, they were actually a lot better. Okay. So that's could we call that over 1 second? Fade in quickly, fade out. I mean, that will actually hide some of the hitchiness anyway. I almost think we may have had a problem. Yeah, why do we have a problem selecting this? Is it because we're fading out and that's causing a redraw? That shouldn't affect our state, though, right? Maybe I'm sliding on the button. So this is already a complicated thing to abstract because it has different rates for in and out. And the visibility itself is sort of a derived property, whether we should be showing or not. We kind of want it to stay a derived property. Rather than everywhere we could set what the visibility should be, but that would just kind of leak out into all the code. Whereas right now, most of the code just stays doing what it was doing. And it doesn't care we decided that we'd get fancy about this. I know there's been a bunch of animation packages. I didn't want to do an entire animation package for so far one thing. If we start doing with more... So I think this is the one from the guy who's doing LMUI. This is an automated style that I think involves capturing current positions and things. Easing functions. I mean, I'd probably like just implement the one I need. The switching between pages. Timeline. Animator.at animator.0. Animator.timeline bool. So somewhere you have to update those. Generate inline keyframes, huh? So this just... Okay, so there's Have a new state, try arrived at. Upcoming, I'm coming with, arrived. Animator.watching. How to get a checked timeline. Okay, so it gets a reader and a writer to an entire model. That might be overkill. When it's resting, catch the states when animated when they're resting. The timeline has a current value of false. When the timeline has a current value of false. Well, that's just a Boolean. Convert the animator to a subscription. So that would say that the entire model should be animated. Wouldn't it? Okay, so you have to get a tick message and update. So there's that. Take care of animation frame. POSIX. Need to specify a duration. Yeah, so everywhere. I mean, I guess we could do something that says sort of outside our main update if the Boon change state, then we do a go. In CSS or inline? Oh, is that for inline styles? At time? Animator.move. Leave smoothly, arrive smoothly. Animation.linear. Okay. Leave, arrive. There's all your smoothing. Built-in sprite support. So is inline for inline styles? This produces HTML attributes. So there's a built-in one for opacity. Model.checked. Model.checked has to be a timeline. So description Boon would have to turn into a timeline itself for that to work. And would that then define all the personality stuff? I guess I'm trying to figure out where this thing is storing its... So if like each one of these is a timeline, would they all have their own subscriptions? Oh, this produces the associated attribute, I guess. Yeah, there's opacity. So now it takes a timeline and a list of attributes. So animated attributes, non-animated attributes in standard? Ah, but this is where you get the optimized version of it. So I guess I'd have to wrap a standard div in my element. Yeah, so really I'm trying to just figure out where's the state, how does it work? Okay, so that's an inline, that's generating a style tag for me. It would have to be a timeline of bool. This is not an Ellie, though. So it doesn't tell me how the rest of it works. Wait, we also have an animator model? No. Animator timeline. Animator watching checked. There is an animator object for type model. Checked equals init. Subscriptions. So tick animator go. Tick update. So I guess the state is stored checked equals checked with that. Animator.update. Okay. So you would chain together a bunch of these things, I think. So that when you tell it to update, it'll go through, okay, item 1, pull out the property, update the property, pull out the property, update the property, pull out the property, update the property. And internally, it's going to have a target state and a speed. So this would be like a, well, this is only a Boolean technically. Okay. So he's saying state at A, state at B. And this is colors, this is opacity, this is transforms. And these are all things the library knows how to interpolate, given some animation progress value. Animator.inline. So checked is the timeline. So actually, animator is state boolean always here, or does it have to do with the type of the thing we're doing? That would be inline. Now this is a type variable. Well, it's going to have a previous state and it's going to have a next state. So those are the only two it needs to query about. So it'll query about both. A movement might be an internal type. Yeah, so this is some internal thing that's not exposed. Move state to movement at movement. Movement to movement. So this is a thing to wrap your head around. Simple animation. Animated.div. From to duration options. Animations are stateless. No model update or subscriptions required. CSS keyframes. And I guess you'd be kind of, well, so transition's a separate module. Transition.properties. I guess somebody do nested attributes. Transition color. Where do you specify the actual colors? Is this just for doing the transition properties, not for the rest of it? That's extra special wrappers. So I guess that's what he's doing to, yeah, get bounding client recs, which you need a port for. flip items. I'm not using optimized flags. Well, that's also a big problem. This is just using functions. Animate float values. I mean, I guess style animation is kind of what I was doing. I'm on 200 the unit duration for delay. Right when they aren't actually animating. Begins at the given time. So this is kind of, well, it has a little bit of a logic in it, but it's pretty. I guess we kind of want something simple if we did something. Okay, so something like pretty standard. Oh, it needs to be changed to. Init timeline.init. Does that basically wrap your model? Yeah, view timeline model. So this could be kind of invasive. Timeline.value. So that gives you your model. Rendering and animating during view. From the timeline. Timeline.map dot hamburger menu state. At transitioning. So that just gives us the from to remaining of, I guess, the entire model does a single animation. And have a different change history. Returns a timeline of the history of A irrespective of B. History of B irrespective of A. Independently. This is changing because values are being inserted or removed. We're going to list like foo. We want to know what the timeline for each slot. Timeline of maybe. Yeah, this one's even harder to wrap your head around. A and B are bools. That's just a flip. So progress A, timeline map A, transition speed. Timeline dot at. Okay, so that's completely static. That's the moving. Are these any different? Color value. Oh, and he also put a transform into the thing that seemed like it was kind of about color. Did I ever? Oh, maybe the color is to do a kind of fade effect. Render action progress. View timeline. Okay, so those are the timelines. Toggle by toggle, we get the actions we get from the buttons. And the entire state of this is a big switch. Which treats at and transitioning differently. Sample of general reviews. Yeah, this is not terribly instructive. These might be a bit too much. State of the state machine, everything persisted between frames. Lock radius state. Growing, shrinking. Here entering radius done is done. Entering gone. Retarget. So it's a rect, a radius and angle. Where do you use the state stuff at? Yeah, model steel is growing are big. And this is why I kind of always felt like I needed to almost write one of these before I could figure out how to use another one. Animations are stateless. CSS keyframes. Okay, so you did have a transition. So this just creates the transition CSS. And it's up to you to set the properties. But we already found that because we're like changing the class or whatever, it actually does like, I don't know, it doesn't reuse the DOM nodes or something, and CSS properties don't work. And we're back to animator, which is also, it's quite the paradigm. So if we end up with 2 of these, we can start to look at what's common, and then maybe we can end up someplace near there. I mean, you could imagine that we have a state and a remembered state. And an animation progress. And I guess you'd have to remember the speed too. All right, so the thing is, if individual items are animated, then the rest of the code knows about that. No, actually it's you. Get the current state. So everything would have to be model description, boot, animator, current. Which I guess we only ended up using that once in the view. That's the fade process itself. That's where we update it. That's one of the places we update it. Another place we update it. That's the animation subscription. So this particular property doesn't get touched too much. And then the fact that Boon or not Boon translates to a 0 or 1, that gets pushed out to the view. I mean, the animation library is going to be tracking some kind of progress. This only deals with states. What about... Oh, no, I guess that's opacity. So a state goes to a movement. So actually that gets called twice. And then it interpolates between them. Animator.at. So I guess movements are always of some coordinate or interpolatable thing. So movements are things you know how to interpolate? Is that what that is? There's a float. Timeline, state, movement, move. But it resolves to a float, I guess. That's a state to an XY, gives you a new XY. I guess maybe the current XY. So at each end of it gives you the interpolated values. You can do this with move. So move timeline. If state, then is equivalent to timeline. So you just apply the leave smoothly, arrive smoothly on there. I guess by resting they mean it's going back and forth. Some additional animation might be nice. It's the library's a bit much right now. Oh, we still got. I think I took it out, but I haven't reloaded. But like, it still looks bad. I mean, arguably, you should have it linger a little bit too, but that does get into fancy animation. Well, I guess that would just be a translation of your. If you treat it as progress rather than direct opacity value. Well, we'll have to see where else this stuff comes up. And for now, oh, you know what? You actually need a background. I did the transparency. That actually might be a fast enough thing to do. View. So attribution. Padding. So this is probably going to be background.color. And actually, I probably want to do something like this. Indeed, this thing could perhaps use some of that same treatment. Had you compiled yet? Oh, I almost want to do the interior of that. I actually think the padding was so you could... Oh, because you can't get to the... You can't get to this link now. Well, maybe we can put up with that. Is 0.5 a good amount? I guess it's okay. This would be the entire footer, which we crammed a whole bunch of attributes in here. All right, let's. Do you have to? Oh, that's why I did that. That does do the box. We might need 2 boxes. But, oh, this thing is a child of you, basically. So it's going to be restricted by the width of this thing. I guess you can still see down there. And you can actually see where the blocking is going to occur now. I might not actually like this hover. I mean, it's great for identifying things. Oh, you know what? I should do this if it rests on there for a moment. That would be... It would be less expensive if we did movement checking before the hit checking. But now... we basically need a timestamp. On every mouse move. We could set a timer for about the time that we want to care about, although that could have some kind of aliasing effects. If we set a timer every time it mouse moved, I think as long as it's always doing the same timer, then that timer will it won't reset the time. I think delay will cut us a lot of redrawing during scroll over and things. I could have a timer at some resolution. And it requires so many ticks that reduce resolution that would give us a little fudge. I guess we would only care about that timer when it was ticking down, so to speak. Or we could treat that as an animation frame. I guess it'd be a different animation frame call. And that would be one where we might want the absolute time. Because we want to be comparing that to the last move time. Well, if it's the last move time, we'd actually have to have the movement get the time for the last move time. And we'd have to have some state saying that, hey, we're waiting to possibly display something, which would actually have to record that thing somewhere. Individually, these might be hard, but it might also be something we have to fiddle with a lot to get right. So that's probably where we have to cut it here. That's what I'm usually on. Monday morning would be the main other time that I work on the code stuff, and sometimes elsewise when I feel like it. That's it for now. Thanks for support from all the subscribers. And we'll be back later for 1 Hour of Life. Bye-bye.